Hello there, friends, and welcome to episode 86 of That One Gaming Podcast. My name is Colin, but I'm otherwise known as Delicious Morsels, and with me today is Lucas, aka Karn Evil 9. How is Lucas today?
I'm doing good.
Very good. And we've also got Neal, better known as VMK89. How is Neal today?
Pretty swell, as usual.
All right. So, if you are new to this podcast, welcome. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, or one of the many other podcasting platforms out there where the three of us get together every other week to talk about a variety of topics in the world of gaming. And this week, we're talking about some of our favorite items from video games. These things could range from little power-ups that you pick up during gameplay, like the mushroom in Mario, to healing items in an RPG. We're probably not going to be too strict on what we classify as what is or is not an item, but I can tell you we probably won't be talking about weapons specifically because we've done episodes about weapons before, even though they're also technically items game. But anyway, yeah. Before we get to that, though, we like to talk about the games that we've been playing since the last episode. So, Lucas, what have you been playing?
A very different sort of game. And by that, I mean big game hunting. I got 2 deer on opening weekend. I'm very happy with that. A 5-point and a 6-point. And I just finished processing them yesterday. Also puzzles, naturally. Unsurprisingly, I got a couple of puzzles on Speedcube Shop's like Black Friday sale that's going on right now, because there's stuff that's like up to 50% off right now, which is wild. So I got a couple of Evgeny icosahedron puzzles, which are sort of a reimagining of the Dogic puzzle from like 1999, 2000, and then there was a second production run done by Mefferts in 2004, but it's an ultra rare puzzle. The Mefferts run apparently only produced 2,000 or so. So it was going to be a unobtainium puzzle until the Evgeny icosahedron came out. So yeah, I got not one but 2 of those, the 12-color Dogix variant and the 20-color variant. So each side of the icosahedron has its own color. This also means that I now have a puzzle for every regular platonic solid, going from the tetrahedron all the way up to the icosahedron. That also means that I need to either find or build my own trapezoidal dipyramid so that I can have a D10 puzzle. Then, Crazy Comet, which has been an interesting puzzle to solve. I'm stuck with 4 pieces left to solve on it currently. I've got to do like an adjacent corner swap with the last 4 unsolved corners. So the 2 on the left side need to swap front to back, and then the 2 on the right side need to swap front to back. But I don't know how to do that because it's a weird shaped puzzle, because it's a rhombic dodecahedron of sorts. So it kind of shapeshifts as you turn the faces, which makes it kind of difficult to figure out your algorithms. And then I got a lattice cube, which is like a higher order dino cube. So it's got the outermost corners turn, but then it also can do full-size dino cube turns. And it's interesting to solve. Doesn't turn the greatest, but yeah. And then for an actual video game now, I've been playing more of Mother 3, and I've finally made my way to Chapter 7, which is sort of the big open-ended exploration chapter.
Yeah.
And they once again empty out your party. So at least to start out. So yeah, about half of the first half of the chapter is sort of like getting the gang back together again. But yeah. Yeah. Here's this is where like the bulk of the actual JRPG open-ish RPG exploration takes place. Yeah, it's a cool chapter. Get to learn a lot of cool side moves in this chapter too. Not going to say what they are for spoilers, but yeah. So that's what I've been up to.
What has Neal been playing?
You know what? Also, Mother 3. It's almost like we're all going to be playing this. I am much farther behind. I literally, just before we started recording, finished off chapter 3.
Shock monkey.
Poor monkey. I was trying to do the least shocks possible, but there were definitely ones I ran into that I could have avoided if I hadn't gone in a certain direction. Or I think the last one that I did that I could have been avoided was if you talk to Facade while he's asleep towards the end of the chapter, he will roll over and hit the button and shock the monkey again. And it's like he rolled over in his sleep, and then you control again. But no, glad to be out of that chapter. It's a mix of like melancholy and sadness in the story, along with a weird bit of dark humor and a lot of tedious stuff in that chapter. But yeah, I'm not going to get too into it because spoilers. I feel like I've already said too much. Have I been playing anything else? No. So that about covers it, other than Minecraft. But not too much to talk about there either. I'm putting together world maps that are bigger than the current world map that we have. That's all the way zoomed out. And those things are giant now. I've got what is it? A 32 by 32 map of the Rome server, which like 32 blocks by 32 blocks. Like if you know how big a chunk is, that's 2 by 2 chunks. But yeah, that's about it. Colin, what have you been playing?
A whole lot of not video games.
It seems like the trend.
I have been incredibly busy with a million different musical projects right now. I'm doing something very crazy and insane to myself, and I'm almost done.
Yeah.
Just so I can start again with something else. But yeah,
You could say that
I'm
you've
doing
been playing rhythm games technically.
yeah, that is true. I've been playing a variant of Guitar Hero where I am actually playing a real guitar, but I'm not actually a hero. But
I don't know.
yeah,
You're turning into my hero with the way that your music's been blowing up. So yeah, there's that.
So I'm doing a thing. I think no, I hadn't announced it yet when we did the last episode. Yeah, I'm doing a thing, and starting Black Friday, which is 2 days after this episode goes out, for every single Friday for the rest of the year, I am going to have a new video on my YouTube channel, and it's been crazy putting all this together. I haven't started any of the videos themselves yet as of this point, but I've got all of the assets. I've commissioned multiple artists for some of these. I've gotten all of the songs and stuff ready to go. So all I gotta do is sit down and start editing videos now. It's been very busy, but very fun. I've been having fun the whole time, so I don't feel like burnt out or anything by it, even though like I am grinding like all hell right now.
Mm-hmm.
Every waking moment that I'm not stuck in bed because I'm too tired, I'm in front of my computer working on some kind of music project, but it's fun. Yeah, so that thing, it's called Morsels Merriments. Like I said, it starts on Black Friday. Every Friday for the rest of the year. Gonna be a new video. And yeah, I'm gonna try and see if that can get me over the last little milestone to hit YouTube partner, which
Yeah.
would be kind of cool because I'm really close and I've never been this close before. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to give away too many details about the first video that's coming up on Friday, even though technically I'll have already teased it on the Wednesday when this episode goes out. But it's going to be familiar, but it's going to have a new twist on it. And there's going to be a bigger announcement at the end of that video that I know some people are looking forward to. I don't know if any of the listeners of this podcast are some of those people, but there are people in my audience that are looking forward to that, and I am looking forward to sharing it with them. It's gonna be fun. But yeah. Aside from that, I did start Pirate Yakuza, Pirate Majima, one night, like a week and a half ago. I played through the first chapter of the game. And that was the last time I played a video game.
Be like that sometimes.
Yeah, but Pirate Majima, it's that game is going to be fun when I finally get the chance to relax and sit down and play it some more. I'm probably going to play a little bit tonight, honestly, see if I can manage that. But the first chapter is pretty fun. And at the end of the chapter, you get the pirate ship. So I'm assuming that now when I start chapter 2, I get to do some boating around in the pirate ship and stuff. We'll see. But very fun so far. Majima is really fun to play as. And you can do air combos now.
Oh,
they're pretty
cool.
limited, but it still is air combos in a Yakuza game. And I like that.
Yeah. But not quite like some Kingdom Hearts 3 Devil May Cry action.
No, not at all. It's like it's a very, very limited combo. There's really only like one combo that you can do, at least right now. I mean, so early in the game. There's probably more you unlock later. But it's a very, very basic combo. But still, air combos in a Yakuza game is pretty crazy. But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. Lots of music projects and a little bit of Pirate Yakuza. And that's about it. So let's get on to our Hey Listeners segment.
Hey, listen!
Each episode, we like to ask our Discord members a prompt based on the topic of the episode for them to respond to. And if you want to do that, you can join our Discord from the link below and take part in the next one. So we're talking about items this week. So we asked our Discord members for some of their favorite items. So the first one comes from Crystal Lily, who writes, ravioli. Wait, the autocorrect, but it's funny, so she kept it there, and that is a really funny autocorrect.
Yeah.
The actual item she is writing it about is the Revali Gale from Breath of the Wild. Once you beat the boss and get it, it's a lifesaver with scaling up mountains and gliding from place to place. It's very handy. I just wish I'd gotten it first during my playthrough. It was the last one I got. The Revali Gale is a really good power-up. Really, really useful for getting around the map and stuff. Because you can just literally just like whoosh yourself up into the air. And then you can get your little parachute thing, your glider, and just kind of hover around. Very useful. Very good item. And our next write-in comes from Jazzy, who writes, my favorite video game item of all time is the trusty, dusty grappling hook. I'm always saying all video games are better with a grappling hook. Honestly, anything that upgrades your mobility in games is a banger in my books. Running shoes in Pokemon, dash boots in Mega Man, the wingsuit in Far Cry, all exceptional items. Every game is better with a grappling hook.
Yeah.
It's just science. Thank you, everybody, for your write-ins. And remember, if you're listening and you want to write in, you can join our Discord. The link is down below. But anyway, on to our main topic discussion. We're going to talk about some of our favorite items in games. Lucas, what is the first item that you got?
Well, first item I got is the humble bottle from specifically Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, because could do some fun stuff in those games with those. Yeah, just a very basic container for storing stuff like Lon milk, potions, fairies, fish, bugs,
Bugs.
letters from princesses that were swallowed by giant fish. You know, normal stuff. Yeah. Being able to carry around bottled fairy with you to revive you when you inevitably get killed by some sort of something. Always a welcome thing to have in games. Carrying around bugs in bottles allows you to drop them in the soft soil that you can plant magic beans in, and will cause a gold Skulltula to pop out that you can add to your Skulltula collection for the Skulltula house, that wonderful nightmare fuel infused building in Kakariko Village. But my favorite use of the bottles is something completely unintended, and that is the ability to do the Ocarina items glitch with them. To do that, you drop something that you can re-catch again, like a bug or a fish, so that Link has the item, or has the bottle in his hand when you're done. Then you backflip, press the bottle button, and then one of the item buttons, or your sword button. And if you timed it right, when you land, Link will be playing that item as an ocarina. Can lead to some very humorous poses, like Link stuffing a bomb into his face. There's actually a sort of joke speedrun category in Ocarina of Time called Dank Percent, where you do that with a lit Deku stick to make it look like Link is smoking the biggest blunt ever. I think probably the most unique use of that I've found is it doesn't really work properly if you try using your shield, except in the water temple, where it has the weird effect of, if you do ocarina items with your shield, until the glitch deactivates or you pull out your ocarina normally to sort of reset it, anytime you approach any of the Triforces on the wall to raise or lower the water level, it will automatically trigger, but you still have control of Link, so you can wander around with the song prompt up. And you can still play Zelda's Lullaby with that up, as long as you don't have like a item that triggers a sort of canned animation like Din's Fire or Pharaoh Ray's Wind. And it just does that until you like leave the dungeon or you reset the Ocarina items glitch. Which is nice, because then you don't have to have your ocarina out at every given opportunity to do that. You can also use the bottle to dupe other items in your inventory into more bottles. Which is nice, because Ocarina of Time only gives you 4 bottles, and the 4th bottle is actually a really obnoxious quest to go about getting, because you have to catch in bottles the spirits of 10 big Poes that only appear when riding horseback on Epona in Hyrule Field. And you have to bring them to the Poe salesman in the pot room right at the entrance of Hyrule Castletown. So yeah, you can sell regular Poes to him for rupees, or you can give him a big Poe, and after 10 of them, he will give you the 4th bottle. Or you could just, like, if you need an extra bottle as Kid Link, you can, like, swing your bottle to catch a bug or a fish, pause the game mid-swing, and, like, switch Zelda's letter to the item, and then the item slot that had Zelda's letter in it turns into a bottle. It's also useful as Adult Link because you can do that with the claim check once you've finished the Begoron Sword quest, because that item slot never gets used again, and the claim check is actually just useless. So you might as well turn it into something useful. And then somewhat more infamously in the speedrunning community, for bottles in particular, there is the reverse bottle adventure and bottle adventure glitches, which let you do some crazy item inventory manipulation to, like, do some very, very unintended stuff. At one point, it was actually like the fastest way of completing Ocarina of Time was like doing Door of Time skip to get as Adult Link, and then doing part of the Begoron sword trade sequence in order to get Poacher's Saw, which then let you reverse bottle adventure the Shadow Medallion and the Spirit Medallion into your inventory, because those are the only 2 medallions that the game actually checks for to let you into Ganon's castle. Also, is the only 2 medallions you actually have to collect in order to trigger the Light Arrows cutscene to get Light Arrows to fight Ganondorf, which is dumb. So yeah, for a while, the Ocarina of Time any percent speed run was just Link running around doing random stuff, and then, like, backflipping with a bottle on the B button, and all of a sudden you have the Spirit Medallion, Shadow Medallion in your inventory, and you can go beat the game from that point on. And then, as mentioned, also, a lot of this stuff works in Majora's Mask as well. I don't know the extent of the bottle adventure and reverse bottle adventure glitches working in Majora's Mask, but Ocarina items and bottle duplication all still work. And since masks are inventory items, you could theoretically turn your entire mask inventory, since they are just C items, turn all of those into bottles if you really wanted to. Yeah, in Majora's Mask, you can actually get up to 6 of them. They decided to give you 2 extra bottles to work with, so you don't necessarily have to overwrite your inventory with them, but that is, I believe, used in the speedrun because that saves you a lot of time of doing mini games to collect bottles. Because when you go to Great Bay Temple, you have to collect all of, or you have to collect a bunch of Zora eggs, and once you've collected them all, they will all hatch into baby Zoras, and they will be shaped like music notes, and they will teach you the new wave bossa nova, which lets you access the Great Bay Temple. So bottles are actually a huge plot point in Majora's Mask. Yeah. Very fun, very glitchy. I'm sure that's not why most people like items, but it's why the bottles are among some of my favorite items in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, besides just their usefulness of being able to carry around a revival item with you.
Mm-hmm.
So what's Neal's first item?
My first item, I'm going to get the Sonic pick out of the way first. Mine is the electric shield, as well as the like less cool variant that comes in other games, the magnetic shield. The electric shield first showed up in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and it's the best one. It in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it gives you a double jump as Sonic. Tails and Knuckles just do their flight actions. With Sonic, you get a double jump. So much fun to do. And if that wasn't enough for you, it also attracts rings magnetically. And I will say Sonic 3 and Knuckles does the like magnetic ring effect the best, because they like, if you're moving fast and they don't go directly towards you, they'll like go past you and then like ricochet back. They'll like loop around you. It's really a really cool effect. However, this thing really only exists in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. They, in the adventure games, they dumbed it down to a magnetic shield that has the magnetic effect, but not the double jump. For Sonic Adventure, I think that makes sense. You need your homing attack and air dash to move properly, and a double jump would just mess that up. But unfortunately, when they got around to making Sonic Advance, as well as the Rush games and some of the other 2D Sonic games, they still didn't bring back the double jump. And yeah, Sonic Advance's magnetic shield is much less cool because without the double jump. Also, it doesn't do the looping effect around the shield. It just goes directly to you in a straight line, and it's way less cool. And yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles definitely has the best version of this. I'm also a big fan of in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, when you get hit while you have an electric shield and there's rings coming to you, they just all sort of drop. Like they retain some of their momentum, but they don't continue going to you. It looks really cool. Play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But yeah, I wish they'd bring back. Oh, what am I talking about? They did. It is in Sonic Mania. We were finally treated to the proper electric shield as well as the other ones in Sonic Mania. That's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christian Whitehead and Simon Tomley. Notably, in the ports of Sonic 1 and 2 to mobile that they did before they made Sonic Mania, you could go into debug mode. This was exclusive to the mobile ports, and turn it on so that electric or elemental shields showed up in some of the boxes to replace regular shields. So there is a whole bit of added gameplay that is unique by having those electric shields in that debug mode through Sonic 1 and 2, and it is definitely really cool. I wish those things weren't locked to mobile, because I don't think there's a way to do debug mode to do that in the Sonic and Origins version of those games. I have to Google that though. Maybe there is. But yeah, best shield, best Sonic shield. So I will pass it over to Colin.
My first item today is the Wonder Flower from Super Mario Wonder. Because it's really cool. There is one on every level, and it's hidden. Well, some of them are hidden more than others. But when you find the Wonder Flower, it does something to the level. It's different for every level. Some levels, it turns it into a little bit of a rhythm game in a way, where all of the enemies and stuff start walking around to the rhythm of the music, and you have to dodge them in that way. And some will cause a stampede of elephants or something. Like, it's really cool, and it made that game really, really fun to play through, because you never knew like what each level was going to be beyond it just being a regular level in a Mario game. And they were also really fun to track down and always a surprise and stuff. So yeah, Mario Wonder is really good. Should play it. Anyway, passing to Lucas for his second item.
Well, for my second item, we're going to be visiting one of the two series that I tend to talk about a lot.
But we've already been at one of those 2 series.
Have we?
Are there more than 2 series? There's more than
Oh.
2 series.
There is?
Yeah.
Ah.
'Cause you talk about Zelda a lot too. Specifically
guess.
Ocarina of Time Link to the Past.
Yeah, I do. That's a good point. Well, that's a solid third place there, though. I'm talking about the Mega Ball from Mega Man 8, which is
Balls.
it do be ballin'. Yeah, I mean, Mega Man has had a long history of useful utility items for Mega Man. Probably, I think the ones that spring out to my mind are the somewhat broken magnet beam in Mega Man 1, which lets you shoot a horizontal platform from your Mega Buster to walk on. Do a lot of cool climbing strats to just kind of avoid dealing with rooms. Then there's item 1, 2, and 3 from Mega Man 2. One's a floating platform, one's a sort of jet board that will let you fly across the screen. Super useful in Heatman stage. And then there's item 3, which it's there. It bounces around on the floor until it hits a wall, and then it'll start climbing up. Or no, it starts climbing down until you jump on it. Then it starts climbing up. Yeah, sort of the weakest of the 3, but there's a cool zip you can do in Heatman stage with it, so it can't be that bad, right? But then those were all kind of replaced by Rush, and Rush is more of a canine companion than he is an item, and it's that way for sort of the remainder of the classic series until Mega Man 8 on the PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn, which I think I've only come across one other person that has played Mega Man 8. And that was my
Holy crap.
Yeah, and that was my coworker Ray from my custodial job. Who coincidentally lives in the same town as me now, so that's fun. Yeah, the Mega Ball is sort of a unique item or utility item weapon hybrid. When you use it, Mega Man will shoot out a ball that just kind of drops from his buster to the ground. But then you can kick the ball because, I don't know, shout outs to Mega Man Soccer, I guess. Kicking the ball will make it fly forward, upward on like a maybe 25-degree angle. If it hits a wall, it'll reflect off of it and keep bouncing upward until it hits a ceiling, and then it actually starts bouncing downward. It's pretty cool. You actually have to use that as to fight the boss or at the end of Dr. Wily Fortress Stage 1 against the Atatamino. Because the boss is it's a bagworm that will drop down one of 3 slots in the boss room, and you have to kick the Mega Ball at it in order to deal damage to it, which is a very unique boss fight for the series. But that's not all that the Mega Ball does, is be a soccer ball that deals damage to enemies. If you jump on the Mega Ball, then you'll bounce off the Mega Ball. And if you time it well enough, you can chain those bounces together and do huge vertical climbs by just chaining together Mega Ball bounces, which is you can skip large chunks of stuff in Tengu Man's stage and Frost Man's stage. Really any stage that has a big vertical climbing section, if you are good enough with your timing and chaining together Mega Ball bounces, you can just, climb an entire vertical screen and not have to deal with any of the obstacles, really. So yeah, it's a super cool item. Sort of another feature that was wrapped into Mega Man 8 was that, well, it was introduced in Mega Man 8. You could, or they gave you two button options for firing the Mega Buster. One was just the regular Mega Buster, and the other was Mega Buster / special weapon. And both of these are mapped to controller buttons. So it was the first Mega Man game that really allowed you to have multiple special weapons out on screen at the same time. So while you're chaining together Mega Ball bounces, you could switch to a different special weapon, drop that down. Like if you use Tengu Man's tornado hold and jump into it, it slowly lifts you up in the tornado stream, and you can combine that with the Mega Ball bounce to jump even higher, even faster. And while doing this, you can also still fire regular Mega Buster shots, because the button that just fires the Mega Buster only will only do that. So you can fire regular Mega Buster shots while doing ball bounces, while Tornado Hold is out, while using Thunderclaw to grapple onto things. It's it can get pretty technical in places, but it is so satisfying to do.
So what's Neal got up next?
Oh shoot, I was muted. Sorry. My next pick is the Bubble Shield from Sonic 3. No, we're not doing another Elemental Shield, as great as they all are. My next pick is the Goat Horn from Minecraft. I think this might be more of a personal thing than like a widely regarded as a good item. On top of that, it's kind of been nerfed isn't the right word. It's no longer as good because they've added a better feature that does the same thing as the Goat Horn, which is, well, the Goat Horn, you can blow on it, and it produces a nice sound, like a horn sound, like a battle cry, or just a little ba-doop, ba-doop, that sort of thing. And for the most part, it's just aesthetic. But we found in Minecraft Monday that if we're, especially in caves, but also just out in the overworld, perhaps in like a forest where it's easy to get lost, and you're like, where's my friend? We need to get group back up. Or, like they're being attacked. Let's go help them. Finding people in Minecraft can be kind of tricky, especially in forests and caves, and I don't know what else. But blowing your goat horn, you'll hear in which direction they're coming from because of stereo sound. As well as if you have your subtitles on, it'll point in the direction that you're hearing it from for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. So we ended up just, whenever we'd go out into the wild, we'd be like, all right, bring a goat horn so we can regroup if we need to. Goat horns are also interesting to get, which I feel like I should mention here. Obviously, they come from goats. But because Minecraft has, or Mojang has the opinion of don't make it so that don't incentivize killing real life animals anymore. Like you can do it with like the original animals like cows and chickens and stuff. You get meat or wool or feathers, that sort of stuff. But nowadays, whenever they add a new or a new mob that is passive and it's based on a real thing, they don't want you to kill it. So instead, you have to trick the goat into running into rock, specifically natural rock, which I kind of a weird thing that I'm not going to bother explaining. But if it hits a rock, its horn will sometimes pop off. And from there, you pick that up, and then you have the item to blow into. A neat thing too is like once it loses a horn, it's lost. Has another horn that you can get. But once both horns are broken off, it never regrows them. You are stuck with a hornless goat. And the other neat thing is there are variants on the sound they make. They all have like it'll tell you in the tooltip what sound it makes. And there are. Give me a second. I'm going to Google this. There are 8 different types of noises they make. They're all kind of similar. Some are more war horn. The others are more like do kind of thing. And another wrinkle to these 8 is that 4 of them you can only get from the rarer screaming goats. They have their own special ones that are a bit harder to get. In fact, I think I've only heard one of these, which is labeled Dream. But yeah. So yes, I mentioned that they are now kind of defunct. There is a much better system for finding other players that they just recently added in one of the updates, the recent drops that they're doing nowadays, which is the locator bar, which is just a bar where the experience used to be that has a little dot for each other player in that's on the server, and it represents both what direction they're in based on when you turn and how far away they are. So not only is it like, okay, well now I know where my friends are much easier. Additionally, they can be really, really far away and you still know where they are. Whereas with the goat horn, there was like, you have to be in range to hear it. And that definitely was a thing that would come up in Minecraft Monday of like, I blew my goat horn. Oh no, I didn't hear it. So, but yeah, goat horns. I'm still very fond of them, even though they're kind of lost their purpose. They've been outclassed by the locator bar. Also, apparently, there's a metal band, death metal band, named something very close to goat horn, but it is not. I don't think we're allowed to say that on this podcast.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was what you were talking about when you mentioned that last night. I got excited for a second.
Nope. Minecraft.
I'm a big fan of that band that was founded by the former lead guitarist of Acid Bath. Except they're still the lead guitarist of Acid Bath because Acid Bath is back together now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure with enough sleuthing on Wikipedia, you'd be able to figure out what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to pass this over to Colin.
My next item is more of a type of item, but it is the TM, or Technical Machine, from the Pokemon series. These are items, they all have their own specific numbers, and basically what they do is they allow you to teach a new technique to your Pokemon. They are one of the main sources of customization for your Pokemon in the series, and they just allow you to do a lot of cool things to customize your Pokemon, to teach them a bunch of different moves for use in battle. Not all of them are good, but a lot of them are. When the series first started, there were TMs and HMs. The HMs were called hidden machines. And basically the TMs were a one-time use thing. The HMs, you could use them indefinitely, but you had to go through some hoops if you wanted to take those moves off of your Pokemon's moveset as a trade-off. Nowadays in modern Pokemon, they've gotten rid of HMs in favor of more different mobility options that don't involve moves on your Pokemon's attack set. And TMs are now, you can use them indefinitely. Once you get them, you can just use them as many times as you want. One thing that's always just kind of really fun about finding a new Pokemon is going through and figuring out what all moves you can teach it with TMs and stuff, and figuring out how you want to build it out with what pool of moves you have access to and stuff, and add it to your party and all that stuff. Yeah, lots of fun with TMs over the years. Got your like flamethrowers and your fire blasts and your thunderbolts and your thunders. But then there's also like some really weird moves that you can only really get from TMs and stuff that are really fun also. And it just makes playing the series a lot more fun when you have that breadth of customization options available to you at all times.
Yeah. Sure love to use the Earthquake TM on my...
The Earthquake TM,
Gyarados.
the Dig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they got some good moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love giving Stone Edge to a Heracross. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It's also really fun, like I mentioned how fun it is, like, figuring out what moves Pokemon can learn through TMs and stuff like that. But also it's just a branch off of that is it's also just really fun, like, finding out that, like, whatever this Pokemon can learn, like, this completely random move that you don't think it should know or be able to learn, but it does. And those kind of discoveries are also really fun too. Like a Pokemon that should not, like, you would not think would be able to learn Flamethrower, but can. So it's like, well, why would I not give it Flamethrower? Because this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
how Porus can learn Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower.
yeah. Can it also learn Tri-Beam or Tri-Attack?
I believe so.
Because that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Gonna have to look that up at some point. But yeah, TMs are really, really fun to play around with. And
Yeah.
Pokemon is a fun series. So now we're on to our next item. Lucas, what do you got up next?
Honorable mention.
An honorable mention. It's the classic mushroom power up from Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 2 and Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World. And then we skip a few games to Super Mario or New Super Mario Brothers and New Super Mario Brothers 2 and New Super Mario Brothers Wii and New Super Mario Brothers Wii U and New Super Luigi U and yeah. Super Mario Wonder and yeah. All them classic side scrollers, just sort of the venerable classic power up of just make the guy big and then smack bricks with his head. It's truly iconic.
Indeed.
And interestingly enough, probably why I like mushrooms as much as I do. Among one of my favorite pizza toppings. I love portobellos, truffles, tasty treats. Yeah. Just like with spinach by Popeye, I was conned into liking mushrooms by Mario. Yeah. But yeah, for my actual final favorite item, it's another ball. It's
balls.
Yeah. It's Samus's Morph Ball. Sort of the iconic staple of the Metroidvania series. The ability to become smaller and go through small tunnels. Yeah. It's among one of the first instances where you actually have to go left in a video game before you go right. with collecting the Morph Ball at the beginning of Metroid. An item so powerful in that game, it is the only item you actually have to collect in order to complete the game.
Jeez.
Yeah, in Metroid 1, Morph Ball's a little on the broken side because it lets you do the door glitch where you get stuck in a door hatch as it closes, and then you rapidly morph and unmorph, and you'll climb up about a half a tile at a time, or half a block at a time, and because it is a unintended movement, the camera doesn't quite follow you properly, so you can wrap yourself around the screen to get underneath things that you would normally need the morph ball bombs to get through, which lets you break into Kraid's lair as soon as you get to the screen where you would normally go to Kraid's lair. Which is nice because defeating Kraid gives you 75 missiles, but it's not technically an item that you collected. And then, once you have missiles from Kraid, that makes taking down Ridley super easy because you can also break into Ridley's lair by using the door glitch, which gives you 75 more missiles for a total of 150, which is just enough to break all of the Zebatites and defeat Mother Brain at the end of Turian. So it is 100% possible to beat Metroid 1 with only the Morph Ball, which is fantastic. Navigating around the Metroid's a little difficult because you don't have the ice beam to freeze them, and you don't have the Morph Ball bombs to get them off you if they latch on. So you gotta be a bit careful navigating, but you can do it. And then, of course, being a mainstay of the series, it appears in every Metroid game afterwards, too. So, in Metroid 2, Return of Samus, you actually get the first major Morph Ball upgrade with the Spider Ball, which lets you climb around walls. And the Spider Ball later reappears in kind of a more limited capacity in the Metroid Prime series, where you're limited to being able to climb up magnetic tracks with it. See a lot of that in the Phazon mines. There's a couple of big sort of Spider Ball puzzles, like the room that has the sort of nod to Gunpei Yokoi's 10 billion barrel puzzle, with the 3 different Spider Ball tracks that you have to navigate. Metroid Prime 2 introduces the ability to use the boost ball to jump from one spider track to another. Previously in Metroid Prime, where they introduced the boost ball to begin with, the two didn't really interact with each other, and most of the time using the boost ball while on a spider ball track would actually just cause you to fall off the spider ball track. But they decided to make that bug into a feature with Metroid Prime 2 and Metroid Prime 3, which lets you jump from one spider ball track to another in specific locations. The boost ball is super fun and also super useful for speedrunning because it lets you go fast. And once you get the boost ball, that's pretty much how you travel in Metroid Prime speedrunning. And we go Super Metroid, and that introduces another sort of long-standing feature of the Morph Ball with the Spring Ball, which gives the Morph Ball the ability to jump. And it does more of a full height jump rather than just the 3 or so block high Morph Ball bomb jump, which exists. Obviously, the focus isn't so much on the Morph Ball bombs or the power bombs, because those are items that you can only get after the Morph Ball. The Morph Ball itself is the real draw, just because it adds a cool mode of mode of movement. In this case, through narrow passages. Yeah, the spring ball has appeared in every subsequent Metroid game afterwards, usually paired with the high jump boots when you collect it, so that you don't have to rely all the time on morph ball bomb jumping. Because you know, a lot of the Metroid games, like, you really only need to chain bomb jumping to get hidden items, so it's kind of nice that they sort of upgraded to include the spring ball, so that, a lot of the more basic navigation can just be done with a quick jump rather than having to wait for bombs to blow up to bounce you up to where you need to. This feature was bundled in with Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Wii, and then Metroid Prime Remaster on the Switch as well. Then I've seen a couple of memes about it for Metroid Dread, but it's actually kind of a little while before you get the morph ball. It's sort of breaks tradition in that you don't get the morph ball as your first suit upgrade in Dread. Instead, you spend a lot of the time doing like a Mega Man slide instead. And remember, right around the time of release, people were kind of making a big deal of it, and I'd seen a comic of Samus like pleading with Adam, please tell me where the morph ball is, because, Samus likes to be in the morph ball. There's a series of 4-panel comics released around the time of Super Metroid, and, like, I don't know how canon they are, but Samus loves to roll around in the morph ball in those comics, so to say that even Samus likes the morph ball is kind of an understatement. But yeah, that's, why one of video gaming's most ballin' items is one of my favorites.
Nice. What's Neal got next?
Well, for my honorable mention, I'm going to pick the mushroom. Specifically, the mushroom from the RPG Mario games, such as Paper Mario, Super Mario RPG, and the Mario and Luigi series. These are just your basic equivalents of like a health potion that you use mid-battle in these games. I pulled up a Wikipedia page about them. It varies what health they give you depending on what game it is, based on like the damage tuning in that RPG. But the red mushroom is almost always just the basic one. The RPGs often have like alternate color ones that heal more that you get later. But the mushroom is a great part of pretty much every RPG. So yeah. But my number one pick is actually going to be the strawberry from Celeste.
I love strawberries.
Strawberries are
My
great in real
Favorite
life.
fruits.
I collected them all. It was an experience.
That's right, you did. Yeah. Lay down the ground rules. Strawberries on Celeste are really the only collectibles. They're the only collectibles. There are items. There's like that feather and a couple other things like that. But the strawberries are the most known. Say again. Sorry.
And cassette tapes.
Oh yeah, cassette tapes. Strawberries are the most known ones. They are basically here's an extra challenge. If you get the strawberry, good for you. I think these are some of the best collectibles / items, like mechanically, because like you do not need them. They tell you actively you do not need to collect these, but if you feel like it, go for it. And that's really, really nice. Like an extra thing to shoot for, but you're not like missing out on some level if you don't collect all of them, like with, I don't know, Chaos Emeralds or other stuff of that sort of type of item. Or like in collectathons, you have to have all of a certain item to get to a certain stage, or yeah. Strawberries, all you get if you get a lot of strawberries or all the strawberries is the ending picture. It's just a little bit better. You, your what is it? Is it a cake? Cake turns out better. Strawberry cake.
Yep.
Yeah. And I my only downside with strawberries was when we were playing for the That One Gaming podcast that we did way back in the day. When was that?
That was like episode 21.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah,
That was a
21.
long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh
I think it was
boy.
the first episode we did of the second year.
Yeah,
Might have been.
sounds right. Well, I mean, no, because the first episode would have been obviously the Game of the Year episode that we do every year.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the first
that was
episode of
18.
February that year.
Yeah. It was definitely our first TOG of that year.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, when I was playing for that, I was like, I'm going to get all the strawberries like Lucas is doing. Unfortunately, at first I had been playing on the Switch, and this has come up before. I only have Joy-Cons for my Switch. I don't have a Nintendo Switch controller, and that became very frustrating. Because it very much helps to have a way to go diagonally easily, and Joy-Cons are not great with that. But yeah, I think I got. Oh god, I know I got through 3. I think I got stuck at 4. In a windy section trying to get one of the strawberries, and I had gotten everyone before it.
Yeah.
And so I spent like half an hour trying to get it, and I ended up having to be like, all right, this isn't gonna happen. I've collected them all so far, but I guess you gotta give up here. And that's really the only downside with the strawberries I found is like if when you get to that one that you can't get, it sucks. But I definitely recommend doing what I did on my very first playthrough of Celeste way back in the day, which was just like go for them if they look easy, and if you've tried, enough times that you're starting to get sick of it, be like, that's all right. I can get the next one.
I made the best.
But yeah, Celeste is a great game, and the strawberries are like part of the iconography of the game too. Gotta love them.
Isn't it the Steam icon as well?
I believe so.
I know it's the executable icon.
Yeah, it's the executable icon. I think the Steam icon might be
it's
the
a
mountain.
strawberry.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Celeste is a good game. It probably worsened my carpal tunnel though.
Yeah, it's rough. It
Yep.
is a very hard game.
Yeah.
But forgiving at the same time, which made it great.
Yeah. Forgiving to an extent. I'm stuck
To an
on
extent.
the wave dash puzzles in chapter 9.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, the main game is forgiving. It gets harder and harder if you want it to be by playing the cassette, the B-sides, and
Yeah. Which I did that too.
Mhm.
All of the B-sides to get the crystal hearts, as well as find all of the crystal hearts in the stages in order to complete chapter 8.
Go check out
Chapter 8 has
Lucas's playthrough of Celeste on his channel.
Yeah. Chapter 8 has some of the most unforgiving strawberries just because of the mechanics of chapter 8.
I believe it.
Yeah. Chapter 9 doesn't have... It has 1 strawberry, but it doesn't count towards the strawberry total. It's also like the item you grab to finish the level, so it also technically isn't a strawberry. I think it's called the cloudberry. Or something like that. Yeah. Play Celeste with controller and maybe not keyboard.
Definitely.
I don't know how you guys got through that on or on controller. Probably the same way that you guys probably got through Cave Story. I played using keyboard for that as well. It's another game that will make your carpal tunnel worse. Speedrunners have had to retire from speedrunning Cave Story because of carpal tunnel, because of the button mashing required.
Woof. Oh, I was going to mention one other thing. There is, I think, it's an achievement, right? Hold on, give me a second to look this up. Where are achievements and this stuff? There it is.
Oh man, I only have 6 achievements left to get.
Looking it up. Oh, it's called One Up. Okay, so there's an achievement in Celeste called One Up. A thing about collecting strawberries, you don't collect them until you've been on solid ground for about like a second. Which means if you're constantly jumping and dashing around, and you collect a strawberry, it can keep following you for a while. And if you're really good, you can collect another strawberry. And if you don't touch the ground there, you'll have 2 strawberries behind you. Um, and you get a achievement if you collect 6 strawberries and have a chain of 6 strawberries following you around. Passes of Celeste can have ridiculous amounts of strawberries following. It's kind of wild. But yeah, that's a cool trophy that you can get. Really like that that's a feature in the game. It's completely unnecessary, but it's kind of great. But yeah, that's my bit on Celeste. I'll throw it over to Colin for his honorable mention. And
I have an honorable mention.
Do you?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I kind of like mushrooms.
Me too.
Actually, I hate mushrooms. I do not like eating mushrooms. But
More
the
for
mushrooms
me.
But the mushrooms in Mario Kart that make you go fast. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are some great video game items. But yeah, Mario Kart mushroom. But my real last pick is triple triad cards from Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh.
So not only do you get to use them to play one of the coolest mini games ever created in a video game, they also have a utility aspect to them later in the game. Once you unlock specific abilities with your Guardian Forces, you actually can break them down into useful items that you can then refine into magic and other things to then, like, basically the cards are how you break the game. And they're very, very useful. Like, there is a Guardian Force skill that you can unlock that turns enemies into cards, so you don't have to, like, try and win them against other NPCs and stuff in the game. Like, you can just, like, flat out just turn monsters into cards when their health is low, kind of like you're catching a Pokemon in a way. And then yeah, there's other abilities that refine them into spells and refine them into other items that you can use to upgrade your weapons. You can use to junction the magic to your characters to make them stronger. Like, there's so much utility in those cards. It's incredibly well thought out. Like, it's crazy how much stuff you can do with those. And I love it. Triple Triad is also a really fun game. The only thing that gets in its way in Final Fantasy VIII is when all of the different regional variant rules come into play, and then it makes it less fun to play. But, like, the base game itself is flawless. It's so fun. Triple Triad rules. Yeah. Anyway, that was my last item.
Oh yeah.
I like Triple Triad cards. They're pretty cool. Yeah. Now it's time for our next segment, which is our Link to the Past. And we're talking about Link this week, but not that Link, a different Link. We've already actually kind of discussed this game a little bit in this episode. The Legend of Zoraldo Ocarina of Tim.
Yay.
I hope that hurts somebody's brain.
That's how you pronounce that.
Turned 27 today on the date of recording, November 23rd. It released in North America on this day in 1998. That was a couple years ago.
Yep. It was one of my first N64 games.
I think it's one of the first ones I played too.
Yeah. I got it at about the same time as Mario Kart 64. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's also
But
why
yeah.
that game is another one of my favorites.
But yeah, we also did a whole episode on Ocarina of Tim
Yeah.
that
Oh yeah.
you can go back and listen to if you want even more thoughts on this game, because Lucas has a lot and he shares
I
some.
love
73.
this game.
Episode 73, if you want to look it up on
Yeah.
the show.
What Neal said. Anyway, so happy birthday, game with the name nobody can agree on the pronunciation of. That's it. That's the end of episode 86. So we're gonna 86 this episode now. You see
Yep.
what I did there?
Ooh.
Lucas, where can we find you outside the podcast?
Find me on Linktree at linktr.ee/Karn_evil_999. It's got links to my social, technically socials, but I don't use the other one. Check me out on Blue Sky. It's great. That links to my YouTube channel, Carnival 9, That One Gaming Podcast, where I upload long plays of the games we feature in our That One Game series of episodes. And you can add me on Steam if you want to attempt to game with me through there. And then, of course, links to the podcast to catch up on all of the other episodes and to join the podcast Discord server where you can hang out with us. That's all at linktr.ee/Karn_evil_999.
And where can Neal be found?
I can also be found on Linktree, linktr.ee/VMK89. I got links to my Twitch where I do Minecraft Monday every Monday, as well as links to podcast stuff and some of my socials. And that's about it. Colin, where can they find you?
You can find me at linktr.ee/deliciousmorsels. That's where I keep all of my links, including links to my Blue Sky, where you can follow me, and my YouTube channel. Like I mentioned at the start of this episode, there's some pretty crazy things that are about to happen on that YouTube channel that start just 2 days after this episode goes out. So you should go over there and hit subscribe and help me become YouTube partner program person.
Yeah.
Partner program person. That's fun to say. Yeah. linktr.ee/deliciousmorsels, or just go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@deliciousmorselsmusic. Anyway, as always, if you liked what you heard here today, please be sure to hit the subscribe button where that's an option. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts because I hear they like that stuff. Hit the like button if that's a thing, and feel free to share this episode with a friend. We are going to be back in a couple weeks with another episode. But until then, have a wonderful rest of your day, and remember,
Live for the cows.
Stay for the bears.